We return to Clone Wars with the first of a 5-part story arc that follows from the Bane stuff, although unconnected to it in any way. Overexcited narrator quickly gives the backstory. The Jedi are suspicious that one of the senators is in league with Dooku and will need a spy in the Senate to counter his spy in the Senate. Coincidentally, Padme's been kind of lonely while Anakin's been off leading in the war, and she's in the Senate and has experience as a commando from when she was queen because she was queen. Duh! Why do you think the British keep their queen around? She secretly drops out of helicopters all the time and bullseyes terrorists. While she and Anakin plan to spend the evening together, the Jedi Cockblock Council keep trying to raise Anakin until he finally gives in to their unrelenting summons. If he doesn't come, Obi-Wan's probably going to assume the worst and send in a rescue party to wherever he is. And remember that their marriage is a secret, and that is completely plausible in a franchise where you can blow up planets, cross the galaxy in days, and see the future. No, actually, even then that strains credulity. Anyway, they've gotten in the way of Anakin talking with Padme because they want Anakin to talk with Padme.
We believe Senator Clovis is conspiring with the Separatists. We need to find out what he's planning.
Do you want me to interrogate him, Master?
Anakin's a very black and white kind of guy. Oh, you think he's a bad guy? Well, leave him with me in a drawer and I'll get what you want out of him. Luckily for the suspect, Yoda points out that treating him like a criminal just because they have suspicions is a bad thing. That's why they want Padme to spy on the guy, his name's Clovis, to discover the truth without being quite so dickish about it. Although dicking comes to mind because one of the reasons Mace Windu points out that Padme should do this is that the two were once very close. And while Jedi are discouraged from doing the nasty, they know that it exists, and that if anything besides the Force binds the galaxy together, it's nookie. Well, you might be surprised to learn that Anakin is a bit on the jealous side. I know, him being the paragon of open-mindedness and calm and all that. I mean, look at him, he's walked all this way up the corridor, and he hasn't thrown even one person into the wall with his mind yet. It's a good day. In fact, if the Jedi weren't so gobsmacked in the third movie, I'd swear that they knew that these two were already married and sent Anakin there on purpose, knowing what was going to happen. Because what happens is that his thick-headed approach drives Padme from, I'll never spy on my friend, to, screw you, I'm spying on my friend! In about 20 seconds, no less. Now, she does realize that something probably needs to be done once she's filled in a bit more on what's going on, but it's Anakin putting his foot down that makes her determined to do it. Nicely done, Anakin.
First, I'll need to get back in touch with him. Clovis and I haven't spoken in a long time.
A surprise, that is.
Sluttiness I sense in you. Village bicycle you are, yes. So it's time to rekindle that old flame, and over dinner, Padme gets him to invite her to Nemoidia for his business trip. The homeworld of the Trade Federation being visited by a member of the banking clan, both groups parts of the Separatists. Nah, probably just a coincidence. Anakin gets himself assigned to go along as her personal guard, and he won't be conspicuous at all.
Allow me, my lady. Oh, and this one's broken. Too bad.
Remember when touching to always leave room for the Holy Ghost. Padme arrives, breasts unfelt, just in time to meet with Senator Dodd of the Trade Federation, not to be confused with former Senator Dodd who tried to blackmail Congress into passing SOPA, because there are some things that even Nemoidians won't stoop to. In private, he chews out Clovis for bringing Padme here while they discuss their top-secret plan to build a new droid factory on Geonosis.
I agree, Lord Poggle. For all the risks we're taking, we should be getting a greater share of the profits.
Yeah, I don't get this part of the whole thing. How are you making money selling droids to yourselves for your own war that you're fighting? I mean, then again, with their super science, who knows what their accountants can pull off? They've probably got some super math that says that they can become rich by throwing their money into a black hole. Padme snoops around under the pretense of taking a walk and stumbles right into what his assistant listed as 4:30 sinister plot. Now that they know his weakness, though, Dodd and Droopy here plan to use Padme against him, unaware there's a jealous Jedi waiting downstairs.
As soon as Senator Amidala finds something, she's gonna signal me to come inside.
Senator Amidala? Come on, Anakin, you're not fooling R2-D2. He was at your wedding. So Dodd poisons her right before dinner, and by the time the meal's done, it's already kicking in. From the way Padme's acting, Dodd seems like he's the slipping roofies to his guests kind of guy. But while Clovis is part of an evil government obsessed with greed and killer robots, he has standards, so he seems genuinely concerned for how she might be spacing out here. He's also not terribly concerned with security because the passcode for the blueprints of the entire evil plan is the name of his date. Yeah, this makes Heartbleed look like Fort Knox. Well, she pulls over Clovis, and before you can say, Jezebel, Anakin shows up and is ready to throw down, so she has to show him that she picked up the evidence. Mission first, you can turn the guy into a colander later, Anakin. But that's when the poison kicks in, and Clovis recognizes it. Probably been to a few of Dodd's shindigs and recognized the symptoms. But Dodd counters with, Duh, she's a spy, you idiot. There's a confrontation, but as upset as Clovis is over being betrayed like this, he still doesn't want to see her die. But he also doesn't want to face the consequences of losing the disc, so he suggests trading the disc for the antidote. But he still doesn't realize Anakin spent all day watching this guy paw his wife, so he's ready to negotiate rather aggressively for the cure. So Clovis negotiates even more aggressively with Dodd. So at last, Padme is saved, and Clovis is, screw you! Good luck surviving the Geonosis arena, lover boy! Compared to the four that follow, Senate Spy is very low-key and character-focused, exploring the relationship and the strain that their mission places on it. Padme is given the first real chance this season to take center stage with this mission, and she handles it quite well, and with maturity. She's a bit annoyed with Anakin's seeming disregard for how worried she is, and his seeming belief that he can order her not to do something if he doesn't like it. But she doesn't do anything to deliberately goad him like someone else might have been tempted to do in all of this. She acts in a way that gives nobility, well, their name. She may have to play up the seduction angle, that's part of the mission and all of that, but she never loses her professionalism here. She's not going to use this to punish Anakin for his behavior because she cares for him and doesn't want to hurt him even if he was being a dick. And also, she knows he's jealous enough as it is. If she deliberately tries to annoy him, he might do something in a moment of anger that would jeopardize the mission. She knows better than that. Despite that, Anakin is still distracted, even though he has more experience with this stuff. Not to mention his leaving Clovis behind. Arguably bringing Clovis along might have jeopardized the mission, but leaving him there was a death sentence, and Anakin seemed to actually enjoy doing that. Clovis' primary role was to fawn over Padme, of course, but there was enough shading to make him a fine adversary. Overall, Senate Spy is a quiet beginning to this epic arc, and in 2 weeks, we'll see it continue with a return to Geonosis in Landing at Point Rain.
Well, it seems no one wants my company tonight.